it's Darius Harris. I'm the owner of Career Skyrocket, a professional resume writing, career coaching, and training service. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about 5 keys to landing the job that you want. The first place you want to start when you're looking for a job is you have to have clear direction. So you need to know what type of activities you enjoy and go from there. So instead of thinking about job titles like most people do, don't focus on job titles. Focus on what type of activities bring you fulfillment and try to find companies that are a good match for it. Second thing, you got to have great marketing materials. So your marketing materials are your resume, your cover letter, and your LinkedIn profile. Since your marketing materials are like super important to you landing those interviews that you're looking to get, you got to make sure they're great. So you got to start with making sure that you target each document towards every job you're applying for. So, make sure you look over the job description, look over the keywords and things that they have in the job description. Kind of try to add some of them in your resume, of course the ones you have, and then make sure it's targeted. It has to be a super targeted approach because employers want to know that you want to work for them specifically. Next, you want to make sure that you're highlighting accomplishments. So task-based resumes are super tedious to read. It takes a long time to read, so you want to make sure that you highlight your accomplishments over tasks, since that's what's going to set you apart. So you can do that by looking through each job you've had and focusing on all the great things you've done at each place and focusing on those accomplishments. So you can start by having a brief description of what you did at each place you worked at, but underneath bullet it with all your accomplishments instead of tasks. The third thing is you must know your value. So you have to know what value that you're personally going to bring to an organization. And if you don't know it, chances are you're not going to find a job. So you got to take the time to figure out, what sets you apart. What problems do you solve for companies, and really make sure you include that in all your marketing materials as well as in person, which we'll kind of get to later on. Number 4, you have to make sure you're going directly to the source now. So you have to be proactive in your job search now. You have to, go directly to the person that's responsible for hiring. You can do that in 4 different ways. So you can either use LinkedIn, you can use email, you can have an employee referral, or you can actually send it directly to the person in the mail. I know it's old school, kind of using snail mail, but it still works. So you want to go directly to the source because there's too many obstacles in place now that block you from getting opportunities. So there's ATS, the applicant tracking system that companies are using to scan resumes for keywords and terms. There's internal candidates that are vying for those positions, as well as referrals that are coming through from internal employees. So with all those obstacles in place, you want to kind of go directly to the source. You'll have more success that way. And 5th, you have to be ready for the interview. So you can look great on paper and you'll garner a lot of interviews and invites to companies, but if you're not ready for the interview, you won't get the job. So a few tips when you're interviewing. Make sure you're doing thorough research on the company. So maybe contact the person that works at the place, maybe set up information or interview, read over a company blog. Make sure you're doing thorough research so you can show that you are a good fit for their organization and you know about them specifically. Second, you want to make sure you're dressing to impress. So this is kind of old school again, but first impressions are lasting. So you want to make sure that you're dressed professionally. You always want to err on the side of caution. And last, you want to make sure you know your value again. So when we spoke earlier about knowing your value, it was more so related to your marketing materials. Now I'm speaking to during the interview. You have to know what great qualities you possess and what sets you apart from others, and be able to speak to it when you're talking to a company representative. And if you do that, you'll be able to, find employment.
No, I can't seem to get it, and in my mind I'm ready. My time's made up, I gotta go. And it's alright if you want to see through your tomorrow, but right now I gotta go. If you want to stay, then you can be here with me, but can't let go of this love, oh no, so easily. I said